Dallas Cowboy Jesse Holley. I'm Ari Temkin. This is the Dallas Cowboys postgame show. Your thoughts, your reaction. Texts, calls, 877-881-1053. We'll hear from Jerry Jones next. This is the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, and Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Yes,
we live in a world of extras and fees. Still, there are some things you expect to pay more for, and some things you don't.
All right, so they was talking about the number one receiver. Should they bring back Dez? Of course, that talk is never going away. So it's like a nightmare on Elm Street, thinking of Halloween. And it's kind of remarkable because this game, I have yet to see anyone wear like the pink or anything. I thought it was like October month. But I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Guys, this season is long from being over with. We can still win some reputable games, but some people are in the mindset and the notion, should we just tank it out and just go and roll with that? But let me know how y'all feel about that, man, altogether. Appreciate, hey, Miss Jackie, thank you for tuning in. My stream just keep going in and out. I think that it's all good, though. We still in this thing. We still in it to win it, right? Yes, indeed, man. Horrible loss for us, though, you know, because it's one of those games where you can say, you can argue and lament the fact that we should have won, basically. So it's just one of those things where somehow, one way or another, they're going to have to figure this thing out. And let me see if I can pull this back up, man. Shout out to those who jumping in right now. That's okay, you know. It's not the end of the world. You know, a lot of people like to believe that it is, but it's not. It's not the end of the world. We still got this thing. We still in the mix. We still can roll things around. You know, it's just one of those things where you still have to have faith, hope, and confidence. And right now, the bill of goods that's been sold to us is just very as I can say this, is on the edge of things. Yes, indeed. So let me see what we have here. Yeah, Jackie Smith tanking. Who are you on? Who are you going to get? Who are we going to get? I don't like tanking, though. You know, I like to fight as far as fast as you can. You got to continue to fight. That's the name of the game. Fighting. You got to continue to fight. Losing these games doesn't mean that it's time for to just mail it all in and it's the end of the world, you know. There's still chances and opportunities out there. Right now, we still in what, second place out of the division? We're not in the bottom half or not in the bottom of it. We still got a fighting chance. As horrible and as bad and painful it is, but it's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. Let's see if they are back. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Join the notification squad. You guys know how this thing goes. SWAT up, SWAT up.
Lose 19-16 to the Houston Texans in overtime. Cowboys fall to 2-3. Jesse Holley, former Dallas Cowboy. I'm Ari Temkin. Brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, store with top brands like Adidas, Shimano, Rawlings, Columbia, all at guaranteed prices like you've never seen. Visit in-store or at academy.com. Jesse, the average points per game in 2018 in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts, San Francisco 49ers are tied 23.6 points per game.
Wow.
24, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys have scored less than 20 points in 3 of the 5 games they've played.
Mm-hmm.
That's deplorable. That's bad. I mean, I'm trying to think of words that I can say that won't get.
Well, it's just not going to win a lot of. I mean, it's amazing they've won 2 games.
Yeah. And even the wins that they had against the Giants, that wasn't an impressive win. Like that win was questioned. We couldn't really all out question it because they won. You got to enjoy the moment. But that wasn't a win that you could be like, yay, no, that was a bad win. It was a win, but it was ugly.
20 points per game is Denver right now at 27th in the league. And that's what won them the Giants game, the 20.
Yeah.
You have to score 24, 25, 26 points to consistently put yourself in position to win a game in the NFL today.
This team, let me say this. Shout out to the defense, right? Because they tried and they were getting after it, and but it's only so much they can do when you're getting absolutely nothing offensively. Like, that hurts your team. That hurts your defense. So you're not getting long drives, so they're back on the field again. You give them nothing to kind of say, all right, if we get you the ball back, will you give us something?
Let me ask you something. That 4th and 1 call, how much does that affect the defense too, right? Because if you don't go for it on 4th and 1 there, you punt, the defense is like, oh, really?
Yeah, we're back on the field again.
You're putting it on us again?
Yeah.
You only put up 16 points, you're punting in overtime? 877-881-1053. All right, let's hear from Jerry Jones. Here was the owner and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys after their latest loss.
I thought where our guys fought, the better team tonight won the game, won the stats, and like I said, thought when we had that chance to get in overtime that we might have gotten to sneak out here with one.
What led to the decision to punt in overtime on 4th and 2?
Well, again, we were being outplayed there, not out of effort, but we just were being outplayed, and it's time for risk at that particular time. That's not second guessing, but we were taking some risk too there at certain points in the game. But we're all extremely disappointed. We thought we could come in here in a really a climate that was going to take everything we got. We had a lot of fan support here, and I think that helped us. Our guys kept fighting back. We had a tough time holding on the ball, and we just got to go to work.
With the fine line between winning and losing in this league, where is this team in your estimation?
Well, again, I think we're 2-3, and I'm not trying to be trite. I think that's where we are, and we've lost 3 games, and the 2 that we won, I'm proud that we won them, but these away games are a challenge, but that's the way it's supposed to be, and we're supposed to have an edge when they come to our place. So this was never going to be a cakewalk, but it's just real disappointing. But again, what was rewarding was that we, when we had a chance to actually maybe make a play or make some plays to win that ball game, then they'd made a huge play. That number 10 is outstanding, and I thought their quarterback played good tonight as well.
Jerry, you talked about DeAndre Hopkins. When you watch a receiver do that to your team, does that make you reconsider the notion about not needing a number 1 receiver?
Well, I would love to have number 1 receivers. You have to get those, and when the opportunities are there, and DeAndre Hopkins is tremendous, and he made the plays out there tonight that made a lot of difference, and I think we all got a good look at what a guy like Hopkins can do.
Jerry Jones, man, the quote was, we were being outplayed. Probably a chance to take a risk there when talking about the 4th and 1. Did follow it up with I don't want to second guess, but Jesse, that was after he had already second guessed the decision from Jason Garrett not to go for it. That's Jesse Holley. I'm Ari Temkin. Your phone calls, your texts, your thoughts. Cowboys lose 19-16. They fall to 2-3 on the season. Is this on Jason Garrett's decision to punt on 4th and 1 in overtime? Is this on the receivers? Your thoughts coming up. The postgame show brought to you by Albertsons, the official supermarket of the Dallas Cowboys. You're listening to the...
Yeah, that's... I don't know how you can put that into the mix, man. It's one of those things where you had to say to yourself, 4th and 1, I ain't think about, although they did that the crazy play about it was in shotgun. They had Ezekiel Elliott and they had Cole Beasley line up in the backfield. Unique play. What I would have got into the I formation, and I looked at it like, look, we're going to win this game regardless, and if we lose it, it'll be on me of not putting my team in the right positioning. And for them to go shotgun 3rd and 1. And I'm surprised that nobody's speaking and bringing that up. It was crazy to me. Shout out to Miss Jackie. Let me see what she's saying over here. Dez would not have played like that, and they're talking about DeAndre Hopkins. I guess they're trying to compare Dez Bryant to DeAndre Hopkins. It is what it is. Shout out to Dez Bryant, though, man. He's so great out there. He's so wonderful as a receiver that, you know, he's not playing right now, and that's how good he is. So we will see, you know, what they're gonna do about that. But 4th and 2 at that point, right? You know, because he lost a yard probably. This is from Shaft. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Dak fought Aaron Rodgers, lost. Did the dink and dunk has no receivers, or did he just got beat? Yeah, it's amazing. Dak Prescott, if you want to just put it out, and I like that, Miss Jackie, you want to put everything on the quarterback, but didn't the Detroit Lions just beat the Packers, or did they just beat only Aaron Rodgers? I want to know, because we beat the Detroit Lions last week, right? The Packers lost to the Detroit Lions, so I guess that is Aaron Rodgers' fault, right? It's Aaron Rodgers. He can't win. He can't beat the Detroit Lions. We can look at it that way. You know, it is what it is.
Guacamole?
Yeah. So it is what it is. I can't even get mad right now at this point. You know, we're gonna have to figure out. You know, those who rep in the Silver and Blue Nation. You guys know how this thing goes. You still gotta rep it. You still gotta roll with it. We're still gonna bounce back. We need a quarterback law. Steven, I'm gonna go back to the saying when we break this down. Even if we go with a new quarterback, you have to, in order to get a good quarterback in this draft, you have to lose all the way out. And then on top of that, you will have to change the mind and the mental capacity of Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones and whoever it may be who's going to make the decision to get that quarterback. Then you got to draft that quarterback. Then you're going to have to wait, because there's no way you're going to win the Super Bowl the first year with that particular quarterback with no wide receivers, right? So then you're going to have to wait that entire first year, okay? And then off of that, then you're going to have to wait until that quarterback, quote unquote, can live with the pressure of playing with that star and silver and blue on his helmet. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, he got to go through, okay, he didn't have a year like Dak Prescott his rookie year. And then on top of that, you have to go back to saying, okay, he's not throwing the ball like Tony Romo. Then you're going to have that comparison. Then you're going to have the Troy Aikman comparison. Then you're going to have the Roger Staubach comparison. Then you're going to have the people, when he throws the first interception, they're going to say, oh, he reminds me more of Danny White. And then he's going to be Quincy Carter. And then don't let him be a brother, because then you're going to throw in the other mix of him being a black quarterback or versus a white quarterback. Then you have all those things added into one. And then on top of that, you got Ezekiel Elliott just sitting back there that you drafted, years just wasting those years by, and everybody saying, okay, we still need a quarterback. At the end of the day, even though if somebody can say we need a quarterback or what have you, you still have to wait a year, 2 years for that quarterback to develop. And I can tell you right now, we don't have the patience nor the fortitude to wait that long. And people want to win now.
I'm not even going to play around with this. If this coaching staff is going to be your coaching staff, Dak Prescott cannot be your quarterback.
Why?
They don't go together. It is oil and water. Like they just it's oil and vinegar. They don't go together. Dak Prescott does not have the ability to cancel out your weaknesses. Most good elite quarterbacks, they have the ability to make up where you're lacking. You don't have to have all of the bells and whistles when you have an elite quarterback. Now, it's nice, but Dak Prescott doesn't give you that. This coaching staff doesn't give you the creativity, the play calling ability, the coach ability to be able to go out there and put his team in the positions to succeed. And I don't want to harken back on Tony Romo things, but that's what I have to go on. And I know for a fact, because I was in the huddle and I was in the meetings and I was on the practice fields and I was in the games, how much Tony Romo made up for what Jason Garrett lacked. Tony Romo gave you chances and opportunities in games where Jason Garrett would not have given. Let me pump this
down right quick. So for those who like to bring up the wonderful fact that they said that McVay had to wait for how long? And on top of that, you said that Carson Wentz had to wait for, or whoever the coach, Doug Peterson, had to wait for how long? Let's break that down, because he's speaking on the same thing. They saying, do the coaching staff and the young quarterback, do they match? We saw how Jeff Fisher ruined Goff, right? Goff looked like he couldn't hit water if he fell off a boat. But let's talk football. We talking football right now, right? You got a quarterback that's one of the first-round draft picks, and then on top of that, previously, before that, you had a running back named Todd Gurley. And then I mentioned that they got a beast child out there on the defensive front. Is his name Aaron Donald? I think that's his name. That can create pressure within the inside. That team was horrible for lots of years. But yeah, they showing off now. But still, even as though we pumping up the LA Rams like they everything, they have yet to win a Super Bowl, right? They look promising, though. They winning games, which everybody's at the edge of the seat. But you got to add in the extra fact. When you're talking about drafting a quarterback, I'm talking real deal Holyfield to you guys that's out there who really don't understand Cowboys' nature. When you put on that silver and blue, you're going to have more primetime games than anybody else on top of that. And then you immediately going to be compared to the greats like the Roger Staubachs, Troy Aikman. And then on top of that, we're going to sprinkle in a new quarterback that's now into that talk track, which is the Tony Romo. So you're going to be compared to those guys. And I ain't even talking about the Craig Mortons of the world and the other Danny Whites. So you're going to be immediately compared to those guys. Now, on top of that, you got an offensive coordinator. You got a Jason Garrett that we know for sure that at the end of the year that they're not going to sit there and counsel out both of those guys at the same time. Either they're going to counsel out Jason Garrett and they're going to elevate Scott Linehan, or they're going to cancel out Scott Linehan and they're going to bring in somebody new and you still keep Jason Garrett. They're not going to cancel out two. And you can bet your bottom dollars on that. That's just how it is. Jerry Jones do not refuse to be saying, I'm wrong about this guy. You know, Jerry Jones is still... He still had the chances of saying, hey, Jimmy, hey, Jimmy Johnson, I understand that I won. You are everything to this team. You helped me win 2 Super Bowls, and I got mad and I got upset about the 1994, 1995 season, whatever it may be. We got Barry Switch, and I said that anybody that can coach a team, we can win a Super Bowl. We understand that Jerry Jones would never face Jimmy Johnson, and Jimmy Johnson would never face Jerry Jones with that, because these guys got high egos beyond what our thoughts can be. So if you remove all what I just said about that, you cannot compare the Philadelphia Eagles, who undoubtedly had a horrible year, and they went and got Carson Wentz, and they went and made a ton of offseason moves to make that happen with their defense. You got a long way to go for a Cowboys nation to make any of those moves, because we're conservative. We got Stephen Jones, who's like, he don't like to open up that wallet. So it's going to still take 2 to maybe 3 years. Of course, I get it. Nobody liked Dak Prescott. He's horrible. He can't hit water if he fell off a boat. I understand that. But right now, you guys are showing me what you guys are wearing, because you're saying that he suck and you crying and he suck. We quarterback can't throw. I'm just crying because we lost. You crying. You sound like what? I'm trying not to call you out, but you sound like a bunch of you know what. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about this. All you can do as Cowboys Nation is just let this season play out. There's no trade that you're going to do for a quarterback. There's nothing that you can do. Just wait for next year, and maybe and hopefully Jerry Jones can listen to you and you can draft your quarterback that you really want, and you can get rid of Dak Prescott. But at the end of the day, he's the horse we rode in on. Old folks used to say, ride the horse you rode in on. Luther Vandross said, love the woman you with. There's reasonings that they say and sing those songs because it's right. At this end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. He's our quarterback. He's number 4. He wears the star on his helmet.
It does you no good to be a great typer, to be a great person who can type on the keys, if you're in communications.
Typer?
What do you call it? A typer. I don't know what you even call it.
Who isn't a typist these days?
But you see what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
If you're a business,
what's the point of bringing in a guy that you can throw deep to if you don't throw deep?
Listen, it makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense.
877-881-1053. Dallas Cowboys postgame show brought to you by Susan G. Komen. Learn how the Dallas Cowboys and Susan G. Komen are fighting to end breast cancer. Visit Komen.org/I promise. We'll hear from Zeke Elliott. Coming up next, your phone calls and thoughts as well, and more fire breathing from my man, Jesse Holley. Dallas Cowboys football.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying right here. Yeah, appreciate Sheila Neal. Thank you for tuning in. It's Jackie Ronald Lugo. Thank you for tuning in as well. Larry, I love Dak, bro, but coaching won't let him be himself. I mean, you're going to have to insert. You're going to have to. I saw a quick interview earlier this week about how Watson, I think that's his name, Deshaun Watson, was able to elevate his game. And they said they had to actually take all of his plays from Clemson and insert those plays and throw out the coach's Bill O'Brien plays and say, look, we're just going to trash those plays and we're going to do what's best for you. And we saw that all throughout this entire game. Motion, running the quarterback with his read option plays and actually get him out in space, motion bootlegging him out. And then that last play that DeAndre Hopkins was able to eat us up with. What did they do? They got a speedy receiver, number 16, Kiki QT, to motion him into the backfield and then send him on an end route, do an actual play-action play, put the ball in the belly of the running back, pull the ball back, they sucked in the linebackers, and still able to missile the ball because that when they sucked in the linebacker, it was over with from there. DeAndre Hopkins was able to catch that ball. That wasn't even on number 31. That was on number 30. Go back and rewind and watch that tape. You guys going to see that. So, I mean, you do things to help elevate your quarterback. So, at the end of the day, yeah, we can cry, we can complain, we can throw a tent, we can pitch a tent, we can fold up like weak chairs and stuff like that. I'm glad none of you guys fight for me. I can tell you that. I'm glad none of you guys are my lawyer or anybody of you guys are in my corner. But you guys can run and hide, but it speaks volumes of who you guys really are when you're saying, oh, the quarterback, we can't, all that crying and all that little baby stuff. Y'all can go home, go to bed with all that. Look, at the end of the day, if he can't throw, if he can't pass the ball like you wanted to do, crying about it ain't gonna do nothing about it. It's not gonna change. Tomorrow's still gonna be Monday. So all you can do at this point is wait till next year and say, okay, hopefully Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay, Jason Garrett can find a quarterback that they want, that they like, and maybe they can draft him. And then you can go through the process of crying and complaining about that guy, because at the end of the day, he's not going to come into the league and be 16-0 and go and take us on to the promised land, because that's just not how this thing rock and roll. And then you got to put in mind that you're going to have Ezekiel Elliott just sitting there, just like a paperweight, just sitting there, wasting time and space. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Some people say they want Mike White. Yeah. You know, it's what it is. Shout out to you, Jackie. Darren Brooks, man, shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. The truth is the truth. Yeah, appreciate it, Dotson. Thank you for tuning in. He can pass. Yeah, Brian Bradford. I don't know. A bunch of Vaji. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to. When they say cow, when the other teams, the opposition, when they say cowgirls, I didn't know they wasn't referring to the players. I guess they were referring to most of the fans out there. They crying and carrying on. I know we haven't won in a long time. But look, the Browns, they celebrating just because they won the game today. They two and whatever, tied, what have you. But you don't hear them crying about it, you know. Yeah, they don't do the read option. John from WV. Yeah. I don't know why they don't do the read option. It's right there. Read option would at least, if you'd at least tried it one guy, if Dak Prescott, I don't know if he just like say, okay, you got to get Ezekiel Elliott. I'm going to give the ball to Ezekiel, let him do his magic. But Dak, I want you to pull that ball in and run it yourself sometime. Don't play too tight to the vest, you know. You're going to have to attack and be aggressive too. So I'm not saying that I'm giving Dak Prescott a free pass. And I know people going to hear me say that, but it is what it is.
We were being outplayed. That's time for risk.
Do you gamble?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Illegally, of course.
Right. Yeah. I don't think Jerry Jones became the powerful billionaire that he came in his life.
I don't think so, no.
Playing
it safe, punting on 4th and 1 from the 41.
Yeah. You don't get an opportunity to grow to that elite level playing it safe. Like, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Like, that's where this is little Jesse TED talk, okay? You don't grow in your comfort zone. Period. If you are in your comfort zone all of the time, there is no room in there for you to grow.
Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
You only grow in uncomfortable situations. You only grow when you have the ability to step out of situations that you are not normally comfortable in.
Because in those moments, you learn most about yourself.
Exactly. Here's what we learned about this football team. They're soft. And I'm not calling the players soft. I'm saying the football team is soft, and that goes to the leader of the football team. You don't grow in comfort. Jason Garrett has been in comfort, 8-8, for the majority of his career as a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You don't move from that without taking risk. And that was a perfect example for this team to take a risk and be. And here's the thing, whether you fail or whether you succeed in it, you grow. Because it gives your team the ability to say, you know what, coach, you trusted us. You know what, I can run to the wall for you now, coach. You trusted us in this opportunity. That's what these men want. I was in that locker room. I was on that field before. I know what it means to look around and say, man, coach, trust us. I ain't letting them down. I know what that feels like when a coach looks at me and says, listen, Jess, I need a play from you. I need this from you. I got you. I look to my right, look to my left. My bro, I got you. Let's go get this. Let's do this. I got you. Let's go win this football game. That is, you know how that is built? It's built on the practice field, but it's built when we go into a game and you give us a chance to do it. This team can't grow because its leader lives in comfort. He lives literally penthouse with the gate and security in a comfort zone. Can't grow that way. Period.
After the game in the locker room, here was Zeke Elliott.
It's tough, definitely. With being a close game as it was, and with the defense playing as well as they did, I think they had 2 or 3 big goal line stances. That one before the half where they didn't get any points, and it's a little frustrating.
You had a drive going in overtime. Unfortunately, couldn't finish it. Were you thinking at all like, hey, we should go for it here, or we have just a yard or two?
I mean, I really don't remember the type of field position and stuff we were at. I got to go back and see the film where we were at. But, obviously you would like a chance to go for it on 4th and 1, but I don't know if that was the best decision right there.
You have the temperament where on 4th and 1, you feel like you can cash in and make it every single time, right?
For sure, but I think just with the way our defense was playing today, Coach Garrett wanted to, give them a chance to go out there and make a stop so we can, get a chance to get the ball back.
Well, one of the things you certainly hear there is obviously you want to go for it on 4th down, but he wasn't exactly sure of where the field position was and whether or not it was a good decision.
Lies.
I love he goes to I'll have to look at the tape.
Does that sound familiar to you?
It was like 5 minutes ago, Zeke. You don't really remember you're the 41.
But who does he sound like?
Jason Garrett.
Like Jason Garrett. You can't tell me he didn't want the ball on the 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You live for these moments. Like that is the 3, 2, 1 fade away in the backyard. Hey, coach, as a running back, I want the ball on the 4th and 1. Hey, we're in the red zone. Throw me the fade in the back of the end zone. Like these are the moments players want to put on their resume. I want the rock. I want the rock.
And this is arguably the worst game of his career. He had 20 carries for 54 yards, an average of 2.7. He had 7 receptions for 30 yards. So he had 27 touches and didn't even eclipse 100 yards. 27 touches in this game, 84 yards. 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053. Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. We'll have more audio from the locker room, more of your thoughts, and more fire from Jesse Holley as the Dallas Cowboys postgame show continues. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
There's things in life you just can't control.
Yeah. It's the end of the world. Yeah, man. So, pretty much they're saying that you become the identity of your coaching. You become the identity of your coach. So, whether or not he's soft or what have you, I don't really, have any angles to point at on that. I'm not in the locker room, but you guys feel what we're saying, it is what it is. So let me see what we got here. Zeke wanted that ball. This is from Sheila. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he did want that ball. Let's see what we can do here. Let's understand what we got right here. Let's see if I can do this. I really appreciate all you guys tuning in to the nation. Let me see if I do Windows capture. Make it 3. I'm gonna make it right here, and we're going to look at. Let me do this. Let me cancel. Appreciate all y'all tuning in to the nation, though, man. Real talk. Let me delete this thing. Appreciate it, man. Patrick, man, what you got over here? Is Zeke? You said, is Zeke hurt? He looks a little gimpy. He did at times, man. He did look kind of hurt there. I didn't like that aspect of it. Hopefully, we need a bye week. That's what we really need right now. We need to find a way we can get a bye week, man, in this thing. It's not looking good for my guy, you know, as far as injuries and things like that. You know, he need to figure out a way. And it's one of those things. So where's this thing at? Can't wait for this. Yeah, let's pull it up that way. Yeah, we're working around. We're going to go line by line on this thing. James, thank you for tuning in to the nation, man. Hey, big loss today. It's all good. We'll bounce back. Cowboys always out-coach. It's from Jackie Smith. Y'all let me know. Y'all agree with Miss Jackie Smith? Shout out to Miss Jackie. Zeke is banged up. Yes, he is. Why not bring Bryce out there? Yeah, I'm wondering why. And boy, we needed David Irvin out there. I love my guy number 94. I love what he does, but he's not getting home. I don't know what. He's always getting close, but not getting home. And we gave him some time and time again, but it's one of the things we're ready to see some reactions off that. So he's going to have to step it up too. So we're going to have to figure that out. All right. You need to shake this thing up. You need some spark, right? Big trade, something like that. David Irvin being healthy, scratch hurts. Yeah, I think that, you know, off the field issues. I know he's trying to get his family together with his kid and getting custody and whatever it may be. But at this point, Cowboys, we might have missed out on some opportunities. And I'm going to say this, you know, by these off-the-field issues hurt us so much that we had a chance. We had a chance to bypass all of the BS and go out there and get at Josh Gordon. We saw what he did against the Patriots. And I do know that that's Tom Brady throwing him the rock, but the way he just launched the ball up to Josh Gordon wasn't nothing special. He was able to come down with the rock. Several times we look back at, you know, Deontay Thompson. Deontay Thompson, he's a cool guy, cool for what he does, but he's no Josh Gordon. One can argue the fact that we could have had like a DeAndre Hopkins type of game out of Josh Gordon today. And that's what we needed. We had those opportunities to slip right through our hands. And then on top of that, the teams that trying to win, they don't look at all those small things. I saw Eric Reed out there for the Carolina Panthers make some plays today. So I'm not saying that, of course, my guy Woods, you know, Xavier Woods was able to get an interception today. But we saw what happened with the last drive. What we were talking about with the weakness of this team. Safety play and wide receivers now. We don't have a guy to go to a target. So we saw that. Although the ball was being moved around good enough, but we just didn't have the guy that can hold on the ball, whether it be getting your feet down. I mean, that play even with Tavon Austin, although he caught the ball, two of those interceptions bounces off the body of the receiver. So Dak Prescott got to pass a little bit better, but
Dallas Cowboys head coach and the coach of a 2-3 football team. This is the Dallas Cowboys postgame show. Along with former Dallas Cowboy Jesse Holley, I am Ari Temkin. Let's go out to Houston now and talk with Mickey Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com. Mickey, the Cowboys lose 19-16. Your thoughts on Jason Garrett's decision to punt on 4th and 1 from the Texans' 42 at overtime?
Yeah, at the time when I was sitting there, I was going, well, is this going to be a tough decision? Do you want to try to pin them deep and rely on your defense? I know they had given up a lot of yards to that point, but they had played decently in some clutch situations. So, with the amount of time that was left, I was thinking pin them deep. They did it, and then Deshaun Watson was a little bit too good for him in the end, and it was a game of so many big plays, and they ended up with the big one. As a matter of fact, I don't know where we were in the fourth quarter, and I turned to my cohort, Rob Phillips, and I said, you know what? Somebody's going to take one more big play, and they're going to win this, and it ended up being the Texans. And I'm certain that, in second guessing, you can make an argument and say, hey, as well as they were moving the ball, go ahead and take the shot. But they had missed on 3rd and 1, and that certainly didn't give you a lot of confidence. You can make 4th and 1 and give up the ball at the 42-yard line when you only had to, they would have to gain about 25 yards to attempt a winning field goal. So kind of backfired, and here they are. The teeter-totter continues, and they can't win on the road.
Mick, I'm trying to gather myself. This was a frustrating one for me. When you look at what this team is offensively, I think defense played pretty well tonight. They hung in there, they bend, but they didn't break, and they stopped that team from going in a couple times from scoring touchdowns. Offensively, when are they going to come out and be consistent and not keep
just
marching that mediocre offense out there each week?
You just can't. They're just not consistent enough. The wide receivers obviously didn't make enough big plays. 2 more interceptions off of batted balls. Didn't have enough catches, receptions by the wide receivers. The majority of the plays were to the pass plays to Zeke, to the tight end. They did get the big one there at the end to get that field goal. But again, you got to score touchdowns. You're just not going to win a lot of games scoring 1 touchdown. And you guys have heard me say it over and over and over again. The more field goals you kick, the closer you are to losing, and that's absolutely the case. I thought Houston did a heck of a job with their blitzes, putting pressure on Dak Prescott. He's running for his life back there far too many times. Again, somehow, some way, you got to do a better job of picking up the pressure. And I think I told you in the pregame show that one way to stop that pressure was run the ball consistently, and they didn't do it. They didn't run the ball very well. I think they ended up with 98 yards, but 30-some of those were Dak Prescott, and only 1 or 2 of them were called runs. They continued to stuff Zeke. I know he got away for a couple decent runs, but the majority seemed to be 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard, and you just got to be better than that. And I think they just didn't handle the Texans front very well, and they gambled. They said, you know what, we're coming, but they're going to have to pick up our blitzes. And the last blitz they had was a run blitz. And stuffed Zeke for no gain on that 3rd and 1 in overtime when they had gotten to the 47, was it the 47-yard line? Yeah, it is frustrating, and I think it's frustrating to the guys. I think you saw some different plays. They got the ball to the tight end. They were getting Tavon Austin involved in a lot of different ways, and some of them were just fakes, right? And the Texans were falling for it, making sure they covered Tavon Austin, and they got the ball to other guys. But it just wasn't enough. And at some point, you got to be able to, hit your back foot and throw completions. And Their quarterback did a better job than the Cowboys quarterback, their wide receivers, and I think you saw the value of having a number one wide receiver. Hopkins was awfully, awfully good.
Mick, to what do you attribute the Cowboys' inability to consistently score?
To do what now? I'm sorry?
To what would you mostly attribute the Cowboys' inability to consistently score?
To consistently score, well, they didn't execute well enough. Again, there's not one guy they can just throw the ball to, and you say, okay, he's going to make a big play. It's a big play by one guy, a big play by another guy, and again, when they don't run the ball effectively, and when I say effectively, I mean getting it into second and short or third and short. I mean, I think they were, last time I looked, I want to say it was like 25% on third down. That's just not going to get it. And you got to be able, for them, and the way they're constructed, they've got to run the ball more effectively than they did in this game for their passing game to be effective. And when they don't do that, then it's going to end up with 16 points, and 16 points ain't near enough to win, especially on the road. And really, all they needed was 20, and they couldn't get there. So I thought you saw some different formations, some different plays. But again, when you can't block them up front, either in the run game or protect your quarterback, chances are it's not going to turn out very well.
Mickey Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com. Thanks for your time, and have a safe travel back.
You guys have a good night. See ya.
Mickey Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com. Cowboys lose 19-16. And everybody all week is going to be talking about the decision by Jason Garrett to not go for it, to punt on 4th and 1 from the Cowboys 42, or from the Texans 42. Jesse's thoughts on why it was the wrong decision. Your thoughts, 877-881-1053. All on the way. Dallas Cowboys football.
Yes, indeed. Yo. Yeah, somebody said Elite Rob said Hopkins got killed. Well, Hopkins killed Byram. He got exposed. I don't know about that. They motion, and you can look at the raw end numbers of Hopkins and say, okay, was it 9 catches for 150-some yards? Most of those plays, if you go back and watch the film, you saw Hopkins move into the inside. You saw him motion out. Several of those deeper passes was on number 24 as well. So go back and look at the plays. And if you have the all 22, go and look at it. You will go back off of your words off of that, and I guarantee. Now off of the play action, long, deep pass to Hopkins, they call the PI on. I mean, the officials, they flag whipped us several times. I'm not trying to make excuses at all, but they did, So it's one of those things where collectively, I think that Byron Jones, for what he did out there, did a good job. On that last play, they motioned Hopkins into the inside. He was on the right side of the formation there, and they brought the linebackers in up close. It was 3rd and 6, and somehow, some way, it was number 30 Anthony Brown on Hopkins. So, well, what we expect that it was going to happen off of there. So, it just seemed like they should have. I don't know, man. That play right there, Hopkins won that alone, on number 30, on number 30 as opposed to number 31. So, I mean, they did creative ways to get him open. So, shout out to Hopkins. Hopkins, just think about this. Hopkins was catching balls from Brandon Whedon and Mike Council and a guy named Savage, and still catching balls and still in an elite quarterback, wide receiver out there, and breaking people's ankles and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Let's see. Vach, are you in the chat box? Oh, man, you guys still railing on my guy, Vach. Jackie Smith. Hey, I see you, Miss Jackie. Texans. This is from Trek Low. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, shout out to you and your Texans. Yeah, you guys got the W. You guys got a lot of things to think about, too. You guys not number one in your division, so You guys got a long uphill battle to climb, so you guys might have won this battle, but the war is far from being over with. Live like 95. Maurice, thank you for tuning in. Gals. All right, let's look at this thing right here. We're going to pull up. Let's see what we can pull up. Like I said, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. It's always a pleasure. It's always a plus for you guys being a part of the mix. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share this content. I got a podcast that's LAW Nation. Join that podcast too. Also, we have a Twitch. We're on Facebook. Join Facebook. That's where you can see most of the live games. I'm going to try to put this game out there still, although it's going to be hard for me to record this live game, you know, this game that we just watched. But, you know, I'm going to put that game out there so everybody can watch the game, rewind, so that we can have an archive of the game on my Patreon. If you are on my YouTube page, click the link that's in the description box. You should see the Patreon link there where you can watch the game and things like that. So we're going to do this thing, man. Win, lose, or draw. You know, I still got to put the game out there. We still got to put the game out there. You know, I do understand that we don't like to watch the games that we lose, but it's just how it goes, man. You ain't going to win all the fights in life. Were we competitive? Yes. You know, we was competitive a little bit, but we still gotta step it up a little bit more, you know. So let me see if I can put this thing right here. Really appreciate all you guys tuning in to the nation. Let's see if I can find this clip. There we go. Okay. Guys might be saying, okay, why do Long got this thing up on the screen? All right, we're going to go one by one. Since all you guys are brilliant, smart, and intelligent, I can already tell you this team. We're talking about quarterback play. You got Tom Brady, been in the league for over 15, 16, 18, 19 years, right? Guy would never go away. 6th round draft pick. He's the starting quarterback. That's their team. Dallas Cowboys, 4th round draft pick. Okay, we're going line by line. We're going to go look at all these quarterbacks. We're going to see how in the hell the Cowboys are going to answer this question, this $100 million question that everybody want to ask. Dak Prescott sucks. Dak Prescott can't hit the water if he fell off a boat. All right, so we're going to look at the Eagles. They got a 1st round draft pick. What round the quarterback was? 1st round. Let's look at the Denver Broncos. They got Case Keenum. All right, I don't know what round Case Keenum is, but their record proves that they ain't doing anything too. So maybe they got Case Keenum. That's their quarterback. The Steelers. I think that he was drafted in the 1st round. Is that correct? Is that by my book? You guys know that he was drafted in the 1st round, Big Ben. Then we're going to move over to, so we're going to put a number column on all the quarterbacks that we want the Dak Prescott to be in and what have you. All right, you got the Browns. What round that quarterback was? 1st round. Okay, they won today. Okay, all right. We got the Seattle Seahawks, 3rd round draft pick. And then we have Green Bay Packers, 1st round draft pick. Kansas City Chiefs, 1st round draft pick. You guys getting this little how can I put this? You guys are getting the pattern here, right? New York Giants, quarterback. Eli. 1st round draft pick. You can move on to the next column. The Raiders, 2nd round draft pick. Chicago Bears, 1st round draft pick. Rams, 1st round draft pick. Minnesota Vikings, was it 4th round Kirk Cousins? What their record is? 1-1, you know. 2-1, you know. Flacco, 1st round draft pick. San Francisco 49ers. I think he was a 2nd round, but he's injured or what have you. He could have been a 2nd round, something like that, but they got a backup quarterback, so we ain't going to even talk about them. But they original quarterback is 1st round draft pick. The Carolina Panthers, 1st round draft pick. Alex Smith, first-round draft pick. Arizona Cardinals, first-round draft pick. What is in common with these quarterbacks with these teams, right? Jets, first-round draft pick. Tannehill, first-round draft pick. Stafford and company, first-round draft pick. What is in common with all of these quarterbacks, guys? Colts, first-round draft pick. Drew Brees, I would say he was a second-round draft pick, all right? I think he was a second. Was he drafted in the first? I don't know. The Atlanta Falcons, first-round draft pick. You guys see what I'm talking about? You guys see what I'm talking about? The Buffalo Bills, first-round draft pick. This guy, first-round draft pick. Can I stop saying first round? Texans, first-round draft pick and quarterback. The Jaguars, first-round draft pick. Oh, my God. This thing is getting in a row, right? Chargers, first-round draft pick. Tennessee, first-round draft pick. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, first-round draft pick. So out of all other teams in the National Football League, we complaining about our fourth-round draft pick that was picked in the fourth round. Not even the first pick in the fourth round, but the second pick in the fourth round from Tampa, who was picked first in front of him. We complaining about this quarterback. And rightfully so. You guys deserve a degree to complain about the quarterback. But until we go out there and go and draft a quarterback in the first round, then that's the only time I guess Cowboy Nation. Drew Brees was second. Thank you for that, Robert and Steven Johnson. Thank y'all for that. So Drew Brees was a second. But a third, not even a third, half of the teams that starting right now, I think that the teams that only have the guy that's not even in the first round, of course, Tom Brady, he's an anomaly. And then also you can talk about the, who was the other team that was not? Okay, you got Russell Wilson, and then who else who out there? Case Keenum and Kirk Cousins. So that's less than 5 of the quarterbacks that started in the NFL, or less than 3, I guess. It's not even out of the first round or the second round. That's the quarterback. So Cowboys Nation, in order for, I guess, for you guys to quit crying about the quarterback, we're going to have to figure out a way to draft a quarterback in the first round. But if not, I guess I'm going to continue to hear Dak Prescott suck and he can't hit water if he fell off a boat, and it's all Dak Prescott's fault. That's all I can say from here. Let me know how you guys feel about that. All the teams that I just mentioned, I went through, whether their record is better or worse or what have you, they all have something in common. They got a first-round draft pick quarterback starting for their team. So where can we go from here? How do you guys want to hear that? You know, it's just what it is, you know. We all cry and complain about it, but in order for us to become better, we're going to have to draft the first-round draft pick quarterback, I guess.
Success for this team. And it just seems like the committee and the success has not been coming together. Now, where do we start looking at this thing as maybe this just isn't the way to go for this Cowboys receiving corps?
Your point is absolutely a fair one, Jesse, and I think that to answer it, the way you framed it, I think you first have to, the first thing people are going to say is, and some have, they should have drafted a receiver. And I would contend that they made the right choice in Leighton Vander Esch, which I believe is being proven out. And the reason that I think they made the right choice with him instead of a receiver is that the gap between Vander Esch and the next best linebacker and Ridley or whoever it might have been and the next best receiver, the linebacker gap was greater. And you knew that you were playing with a guy in Sean Lee who has had injury problems, and Jalen Smith, from my mind, you could not count on even as well as he's played. So if you didn't, I wouldn't reach for the guy. But their evaluation was the guy was good enough, and I think their evaluation was correct. Therefore, if you don't take that guy, you're going to get shredded. Your defense is threadbare with just subpar linebacker play. It turns out that Smith has been good and Vander Esch has been really good, and hopefully they'll get Lee back. But in Gallup, we haven't seen Gallup really get going yet. Now, I think receiver is one of the hardest positions to transition to as a rookie. But if by now it may not help this year. But if by next year Gallup is the productive player, or even by the second half of this year, Gallup is the productive player that they believe, and a lot of people believe that he would be, then that was the right way to go. So then you have to scratch off, okay, they should have drafted a receiver. Then the next thing is, okay, if I accept your premise, what would you do different? Well, some people would say, well, they shouldn't have cut Dez Bryant, or they should keep Dez Bryant, or should bring him back. And I think it's clear that there's some stuff with Dez that a lot of people don't want to have. That's why we're a quarter of the way into the season and he doesn't have a job. And the chemistry, I don't think Dez is the player that he was 4 years ago for a variety of reasons, many of them including injury. It just happens. And I think it was a cumulative thing. So for me, anyway, whether I'm right or wrong, for me, bringing Dez Bryant back is not the answer. And now Jason Witten retired, so you signed Hearns, who statistically was pretty comparable to Dez over the last 3 years. You drafted a guy in the third round in Gallup, who universally people seem to agree that he was a pretty good prospect at receiver. And Cole Beasley has been effective. So then I would say, if I grant your premise that the receiver by committee hasn't worked, what would we have done differently, or ought we to do differently now? Because the alternatives to me, I don't think they'd be a better football team with Ridley and not Van Der Esch.
Appreciate it, Brad Sham, with the call tonight of the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Thanks so much for your time, Brad. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, guys. Have a good night.
It's Brad Sham joining us, Dallas Cowboys postgame show, along with former Dallas Cowboy Jesse Holley. I am Ari Temkin. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
This is the exclusive home of Dallas Cowboys football. KRLD FM and HD1, Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's go, Cowboys.
Radio.com.
Very, very, very damning statistic from the Dallas Cowboys. Next, you're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
And now.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get me some shut-eye, man. Got a lot of things on the plate. Going to have to figure out some things. Got to look at this tape. Can't wait for this game to be ready to be produced out. Really appreciate all you all for tuning in to the nation. It's always a pleasure, man. Believe it or not, hey, this life is a journey, man. And I always say you just got to stay positive in life. We have a liberty and a chance to listen to the game, watch the game. We still got a good bill of health so far for right now, for what I know. I'm just going to do a quick shout out, guys. I do know that losing the game and losing the battle is never a fun, exciting thing. But I just want to give a shout out to Elite Rob, Adrian Soto, Twisted Shorts, MC858. Thank you for tuning in, as well as Kevin Martin, Mike Tommy. The good news, the positive news of everything is that the Eagles lost today. The Giants lost today. All we need now is for tomorrow is for the dreadful Deadskins or Redskins, Foreskins, whatever you want to call them. We need for them to lose too. So that would be a nice little hat trick for everyone to lose. And I really appreciate everybody, guys. Just stay positive. Hey, when the end comes for us, let it find us conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. For those who want to bring Dez Bryant back, it's up to Dez. He got to stop tweeting. He got to get him some new representatives out there to represent him in a positive light and not be a distraction or distraction, or however you may call it. I do know that he said keeping it real, got to be keeping it real, OG all the time. But, hey, man, dude, you finna turn 30 in November, so keeping it real is beyond you right now. You know, I respect the guy. I like what he does for the community out here in Texas area. Does a great thing with everybody, but look, Desmond Bryant, in order for you to play, you got to grow up a little bit. You got to just stay off Twitter, stop tweeting, get out there. Still continue to work out with D-Rob, always open. He's going to figure you out, help you out with all these things. And then on top of that, you can go to a team that'd be willing to reach down in their pocket to put you on, because there's no way that we can look at teams like Patriots of the world, so picking up Josh Gordon over you, so it speaks volumes. But guys, that water's under the bridge. If Jerry Jones decided to bring him back, it will be this week. If not, if he don't come back, I saw a video that I wish I could put up here from T.O. He said if Dez Bryant don't come back this year, he's gone for life. It's just hard in the National Football League to keep up and keep everything going, especially playing wide receiver. So don't forget, guys, put down where you're from before I go. I love to hear this. Although, we lost, I still like to see where you guys are from, whether it be El Paso, whether it be New Mexico, Atlanta, Georgia, how I'm saying, Mississippi. Hey, it's still, the sun will shine tomorrow, and we're going to get this thing going back on track. Film breakdown, film sessions. Shout out for DeAndre Hopkins for having over 150 yards on us. Look at that. Dallas, Texas, Melvin Rogers, man, thank you for tuning in. California, from Dallas, Corbez, man, hey, appreciate it, man. There's always love, man. There's always pleasure out here. Let's get this thing. Woodbridge, VA, man, thank you. We still, even in the midst of our strugglings, in the midst of our downfalls and our pity party that we like to throw, hey, it's still wonderful. It's still wonderful. Augusta, Georgia, GA in the house, Louisiana, hot sauce. Yes, appreciate you, Stanley, and also Jasper Jones. Man, guys, I can't lament this anymore. If we decided to win out, that'd be good. If we decided to lose out, that'd still be good. Just like Daniel Mazza said, hey, you still can go 13-3, right? Oh man, my record for the Cowboys is 10-6. I said that from the beginning of the year, and it looks grim right now. But I'm not gonna fold up like a week 10. I'm not gonna ball up like a little baby or anything like that. I'm still deliver you guys the thunder, and also I'm gonna make a date. I'm gonna finish. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish up the Immortal Iron Fist. That episode is still out. I'm on an episode where he loses his powers or what have you. The other guy stole his powers, so I'm gonna finish up that episode. Then I gotta watch Ozark. I'm behind on it, so you guys let me know if you guys like those shows, because that's what I'm finna watch right now. And I got my date with this big old bottle of hen dog right here. I hope you guys can see it. You guys, let me see if you guys can see this thing right here. This is what I got right here. I'm gonna get over my misery. So gonna give me a little glass of ice, and we're gonna do this hen dog. We're gonna do this thing up. We're gonna do this thing OG style, and we're gonna get this thing going. 6-10. This is from Sherfield. Hey, 11-5. Daniel, yeah, we go 11-5, man. I will buy you a bottle of hen dog, the big bottle. This bottle like $96. I'll buy you the $96 bottle. Yeah, if we go 11-5, man, I'll roll off with you, man. Ozark is good. I like the first season though. The first season was good. I only saw like 30 minutes into the second season, so I got a long way to go. I know when the first season they were funneling that money through the church and stuff like that. I like that. And then the Immortal Iron Fist. The Iron Fist right now making me mad because the dude loses all of his powers, and it kind of reminded me of the guy with the thick skin. I forgot his name. Luke Cage. You remember Luke Cage got his butt whooped. He got it beat down worse than his 19-16 game. Luke Cage got beat down so bad because the dude that took his powers or was able to take some herbs and stuff and get strong, and same episode almost. But good night, guys. I really appreciate all you all for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Oh, let me know tomorrow. I got a free pass tomorrow. Should I go see Venom, or should I go see what's the other movie I want to see? Kevin Hart. Let me know. Should I go laugh? Y'all let me know right now, man. Tomorrow, should I go see Venom or Kevin Hart? Because I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Let me know. Might catch one of those matinees, Stale Chips. Shout out to you, Stale Chips. Venom, okay. Heard Venom was good. Okay, all right. If Venom bad, I'm coming. I'm gonna remember your name. Elite Rob, the Dr. TX Rain. Venom. Don't spoil it for me. I'm okay. I'm gonna try to go see Venom tomorrow. Then, yeah. Why not both though? I'll be in the movie all day. I got to go watch the Cowboys film. I gotta interact with you guys. You know, I work for you guys. I work for the people. Win, lose, or draw. Save money. So, Adrian, shall I fire stick it? Is it out on the fire stick? Saves the money, right? Go get it on the fire stick. Come on, cameraman, get it right. Cameraman said, bro, you talking so much, I'm going to get your face off of here. All right, let's see. See what he got.
To NRG Stadium. And he's sitting there and he's watching his football team. And here's a moment. Here's a moment for the Dallas Cowboys to be
Let's see what they talking
great.
about before I go. See, I love y'all
Here's
so
a
much,
moment for the Dallas Cowboys to be iconic, to go for it on 4th down, to extend the drive, and go win a football game. It'll be on everyone's dun-dun-dun. It'll be on everyone's .com. It'll be a joyous moment to go home to. And he watched his team punt the ball away.
You said it earlier, and I think it's so important. It's even if you don't get it, it's about instilling confidence in your team, in your guys. That call is more to the psyche of that locker room than it is to anything else.
Jerry Jones, last week or 2 weeks ago, he compared this team to the Rams. It was a conversation between him and Mike Baskey, and there was a comparison of this team to the Rams.
Yes.
Now, I'm only saying that because Jerry said that 2 weeks ago whenever he said it.
Yes.
If you get an opportunity, get on your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever it is that you get on, and I want you to go back and watch the end of the Rams-Seattle game. It was 4th and 1.
33-31. The Rams are up with a 4th and 1 from their own 42.
Right.
From their own 42.
And there's a moment in that game where it's 4th and 1 and they line up to punt it.
Oh, man, I don't think I can even leave.
Sean McVay calls a timeout.
They still talking
He and his
about it.
quarterback, Jared Goff, are sitting there talking, and what does he do? He sends his offense back out there on the field. Quarterback sneak it. They convert the 4th and 1. Now, the part that I want you to pay close attention to, when they convert the 4th and 1, watch every member of the Los Angeles Rams go bonkers. They were so excited. Jared Goff, Robert Woods, I mean, Gurley, they were jumping around. Coaches were high-fiving and chest bumping. And that was a moment when they look back on the season, it says, we were 4-0 then, we could have been 4-1. We were 5-0 then. And those are propelling moments. Those are moments of greatness. And that can propel your team to a level of trust, to a level of playing outside of your mind for the next 3 weeks. It carries, it holds so much weight. We punted that opportunity away.
What do they say? It's play to win.
Not play to lose.
Don't play not to lose.
Yeah.
Sean McVay, his decision to go for it with the lead in his own territory. Up 2. You don't get it.
And they're winning.
And there's a good chance. You don't get it. Seattle's down 2. They've got a chance to kick the game-winning field goal there.
And they go for it.
Then they go for it. And they convert because he shows confidence in his team and because he went for the win. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Coaches, the majority of coaches in the NFL are average. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to make decisions that put them out there. They don't want to be second-guessed or criticized for going for it. Too many coaches in the modern-day NFL don't want to take that risk. But Sean McVay, that's one of the reasons why he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. 877-881-1053. Want to get to your phone calls. We've been loaded with guests and comments and thoughts, but want to get to your phone calls, your thoughts. 877-881-1053. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
No, they got another break. So, all right, guys, I'm going to try to missile this thing out, man. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to enjoy this bottle. I'm going to go watch Immortal Iron Fist. Like I said, I'm on the episode where he loses his power. Then I'm going to try to watch Ozark, I meant to say. And then tomorrow we're going to do Venom. And then I'm going to look at this film And we're going to point out the good, the bad, the ugly, and this sort of thing. That's all the time I have for right now. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening in to nothing but the best of hits and oldies. Magic. Let's roll. Gotta jam the music though. I ain't gonna just leave without the music though. We still gonna jam on out, man. You guys know how this thing go. If I could find the music, yeah, there she go. There she go. It's not the same, but you gotta. Daniel, it's your fault. You should wear your Cowboys gear. Yeah. Wear that Cowboys gear next time, Daniel.